ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 10, Verse 1. Shri Shukavacha Khatwanga Dirghabahuscha Ragustasmat Prutushravah Ajastato Maharajastasma Dasharato Bhavat. Shukadeva Goswami said, the son of Maharaja Khatwanga was Dirgha Bahu. Dirgha Bahu means long arms. And his son was the celebrated Maharaja Raghu. From Maharaja Raghu came Aja, and from Aja was born the great personality Maharaja Dasharatha. Tasyapi Bhagavan Yesha Sakshat Brahmamayo Harihi Amshamshena Chaturdhagat Putratvam Prarthitha Suraihi Rama Lakshmana Bharata Shatrughna iti Sangnaya. Tasyapi, from him, being prayed for by the demigods. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth Himself, directly appeared with His expansion and expansions of expansion. Amsha Amshena. Harihi Amsha Amshena. So He appeared with His expansion and expansions of the expansion. Their holy names were Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrughna. These celebrated incarnations thus appeared in four forms as the sons of Maharaja Dasharatha. Purport: Lord Ramachandra and his brothers Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrughna are all Vishnu Tattva, not Jiva Tattva. The Supreme Person of Godhead expands into many, many forms. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Ananta Rupam. Although they are one and the same, Vishnu Tattva has many forms and incarnations. As confirmed in the Brahma Samhita, Na Rama Dimurtishu Kalani Yamena Tishtan. Lord is situated in many forms such as Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrughna, and these forms may exist in any part of His creation. All these forms exist permanently, eternally, as individual personalities of Godhead, and they resemble many candles, all equally powerful. Lord Ramachandra, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrughna, who being Vishnu Tattva are all equally powerful, became the sons of Maharaja Dasharatha in response to the prayers by the demigods. So I'm going to just read unless there's something to comment, or if somebody wants to comment something. Tasyanucharitam rajan rishibhistattvadarshibhihi shrutam hi varnitam bhuri tvaya sitapater muhu. O King Parikshit, the transcendental activities of Lord Ramachandra have been described by great saintly persons who have seen the truth. Tattvadarshibihi. Because you have heard again and again about Lord Ramachandra, the husband of Mother Sita, I shall describe these activities only in brief. Please listen. Purport: modern Rakshasas posing as educationally advanced merely because they have doctorates have tried to prove that Lord Ramachandra is not the Supreme Person of Godhead but an ordinary person. Now, this is the problem with educationally advanced people. They're atheists. Generally, people who are too educated, they are atheists because they think that, you know, they know everything, or whatever, some stupidity because of which they think that there is no Supreme Lord, and everything is, yeah, mostly influenced by atheistic scientific philosophies, right? Scientists are unfortunately in today's world are atheists, but previously it was not like that. If you see Einstein, Isaac Newton, all of these great people who made very foundational in discoveries, inventions in human modern human civilization, they all believed in the Supreme Lord. In fact, Einstein said that we are just trying to discover what some superior brain has already created. So he knew that there was some superior power, whether they called it God or something else, but they accepted it. But today's scientists, like there's one scientist, Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking, what is his name? Stephen Hawking, right? I
Yes,
mean,
Prabhu
he's
on the wheelchair one, Stephen
yeah. I
Hawking.
mean, he's on the wheelchair, disabled, still cannot recognize the power of the Supreme Lord, right? And how such people, as in, he doesn't have power to move his hands or legs, and he still wants to, say that there is no Supreme Lord. I mean, how dull can they be? And they are great scientists because they give some blah theory which nobody understands, right? And so, because nobody understands, they become great. Oh, something he has written, nobody can understand. Right? So these people are considered as important people. Mm. And there's also some talk by this guy saying that there is nothing like superior power, something like that. Anyway, so all atheists, number one atheists, right? Why? Because they're educationally advanced. So, which is why Janmaishwarya Shuta Shri, Janmaishwarya Shuta Shri Bir, uh, what is that verse? Edamanam Madapuman. Uh, Kama Kinchara Gochanam. So, Kunti Maharani is praying to Lord Krishna saying, Janmaishwarya Shuta Shri Bir, Madapuman. This is intoxication. It creates intoxication. And people forget Krishna. And then she says, yeah, not accessible to such people. Only you're accessible to Akinchana Gochara. Mm. So this too much of material education is not good. One has to be careful. People go into all these kind of doctorates and this and that and all that and just become more and more atheists. That's all, nothing else. But those who are learned and spiritually advanced will never accept such notions. They will accept the descriptions of Lord Ramachandra and his activities only as presented by Tattvadarshis. Tattvadarshis means those who have seen the truth. And what is the meaning of seeing the truth? How does one see the truth? Guru Sadhu Shastra. Guru Sadhu Shastra. When we talk about seeing in Shastric terminology, it is Guru Sadhu Shastra, meaning we are seeing the world from the Shastric vision, right? And we see that yes, whatever Shastra is saying is there. We can experience it in life. So they are Tattvadarshis. We can see the truth, absolute truth. Um, Also, this, what did I want to say? Tattvadarshi. So when Tattvadarshis, I remember Tattvavadis. Who are Tattvavadis? Anybody knows who are Tattvavadis? Mm. The followers of Madhvacharya are called Tattvavadis. Okay, and Prabhupada writes extensively in Chaitanya Charitamrita or somewhere about Tattvavadis. Unfortunately, I had an experience very like recently also with, don't know whether we should call them Tattvavadis, but followers of like some pujaris in a Raghavendra Swami Mutt who are supposed to be followers of Madhvacharya. And I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed. I was like flaring. If that person would have been in front of me, I don't know what I would have done. He was um, he was talking to one of our devotees and saying that you people, why are you simply always Krishna, Krishna, Krishna? Krishna has only created so many whatever. There are so many other gods. Everybody has a purpose. We have to worship everybody. And okay, that's fine. That's still, we can say, ignorance to some extent, and we can't call them tattvavadis for sure, but at least we can forgive them. Then we can say, okay, fine, do whatever you want, don't tell us, right? But where it got really, I got really upset is that when he said, saying that, what has your Krishna taught us? This kind of language. He taught us to cheat, taught us to lie. And I said, this is Madhva Sampradaya. Followers of Madhvacharya, how can they speak like this? And I was really, I was telling the devotee who was speaking, informing me about this, saying that please don't say anything. I don't know what will happen, right? Just leave it. I got so frustrated. These are supposed to be people who understand tattva, and they're supposed to guide people. Which is why many times, over we keep feeling so fortunate coming to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. Just no contamination, no nonsense, right? No trying to satisfy anybody. Oh, we are only worshipping Krishna. Why don't you worship everybody? Because we don't need to worship. We're worshipping the Supreme Lord, and that's good enough, right? And we are also seeing some contamination like this even in ISKCON. There are certain devotees who become so-called learned, and then they are saying ISKCON is not following Varnashrama properly. Madhva Sampradaya is following Varnashrama. And what is this Varnashrama? Basically, whatever samskaras, everything that you do, everything is towards demigods. So now, ISKCON so-called pujaris or whatever, they started doing worship of demigods. Right, so now we have to be very careful. Even to call an ISKCON devotee pujari, now we have to think 100 times. I don't know where it is going to go, because, okay, okay, you might, while Shastra also gives equivalent Vishnu tattvas for all these demigods, their sources of power, and they can be worshipped instead of the demigods, but it's not given in Varna, in Shastra, in whatever, any puja, vidhi, etc. that you take from Vedas. It's all going to be mostly other demigod worship, etc. So, like this, it's what Prabhupada created. And where we are heading seems to be a big, there's a big drift. So, which is why we have to be very careful. If we want to achieve Krishna, then he's very clearly said, give up all this nonsense. Now, if we talk about Varnashrama, if we talk about you're not doing your duty properly, so go and worship demigods, then somebody will come and say, do Panchasuna. Panchasuna is worship of 5 demigods every day, which Shankaracharya instituted. So, now where will we go? How different are we going to be from any of these other so called religious sects, right? And we're not going to get Krishna. Krishna, also one of our devotees were told, saying that your devotion is fanatic. What is the meaning of fanatic? That means we love Krishna too much. It's fanaticism. We should not do all this. Be like an ordinary nice person, do other things. Don't overdo bhakti. This is ISKCON devotees, right? And advising, saying that, yeah, of course we have to do dharma, but we don't have to overdo dharma. Which is why even my Guru Maharaj specifically, he emphasizes Varnashrama Dharma, but he says only those principles of Varnashrama Dharma which are favorable to bhakti has to be taken up, not everything. Right? So it's not like generally we just closing our eyes and copying whole of Varnashrama Dharma. It's not possible also, and it's not good for us. Not doing it is also not good. So doing it very selectively, right? Picking up things for which requires somebody who's Tattvadarshi, who's seen the truth, right? Not everybody can decide what to adopt, what not to adopt. Anyway, and when this word Tattvadarshi came, I got carried away. Anyway, so we want to just follow Sampradaya. Just follow what Prabhupada has written in his books. Just don't complicate life. We end up complicating our life, and we end up complicating others' lives, and just mess up everything. Just going into other books by other sampradayas and all is not for people like us. It's for big sannyasis, etc. Then they are reading because they want to dispute or dislodge some other philosophy, etc. They can do. For us, We simply read Prabhupada's books and try to stick to it. Safe. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadakshanti te gnanam gnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Now, this one single verse, unfortunately, we don't implement it properly. Mm. We don't inquire at all. We don't inquire at all from Guru. How many devotees who are initiated have inquired from Guru? Now, there'll be hundreds of things that we have questions about, right? We cannot say that, no, 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 I am like completely clear about everything. No, but then when we have questions, whom do we go to? We don't go to, we don't go to Guru. Right? So we are not completely doing our duty as a disciple. A disciple is supposed to inquire. Because that is the whole reason or the whole idea behind initiation. The whole idea of initiation is to get directions in terms of how to live life. Now, if we don't ask, then we will do however, whatever comes to our mind, which we think is right, and we can always misinterpret Shastra, who cares? But the principles are very clear. We have to go to Guru. We should seek Guru's instructions. We should go and ask. It's not like, oh, Guru didn't say anything. Oh, yeah, we are so special that Guru has to come us, single us out, and then tell us saying that, yeah, that's never going to happen, right? So we have to go to the Guru. It's important. This one principle, and then we get a lot of reasons why we are not able to do it because our Guru is not accessible, etc. But that's no excuse. That's no excuse at all. Actually, it's the responsibility of a disciple. Actually, more than anything, it's a responsibility of a disciple to be able to do that. And of course, also render service into him. Yeah, generally devotees are okay, we're happy rendering service unto Guru, but inquiry doesn't happen. Mm. So that's not complete. That's not being a full disciple, like half. And of course, Guru is self-realized. Now, when actually this is one thing which is also something which we don't get trained. Actually, some of these things we should train devotees before initiation. Is how to talk to a self-realized soul. When we see a person, we generally think about that, interact with that person like we interact with anybody else, and especially little familiarity means, we just don't we don't just see the person's uh, position. I've seen devotees interacting with Vaishnavas, with great Vaishnavas, like very casually, like almost like, they're talking to either maybe another peer devotee or maybe, yeah, slightly. But they don't have, they don't understand their inferior position. And then in conversations, they'll say, I think, in front of Guru. Can you say I think in front of Guru? No way. You're not supposed to. There's no I doesn't exist in front of the Guru. Right? And we're not expected to converse. We just expected to maybe state some facts, if at all, if asked. So there is a etiquette, there's an etiquette to deal with exalted Vaishnavas, Gurus. I remember many years back, when Vaishnavas used to come to a temple, somehow somebody, I used to be extremely frightened to go in front of Vaishnavas, and I used to say, boss, you give me any service behind, I don't call me inside the room. And devotee is merciful, na? So generally they pull, saying, Prabhu, come, come, come. And then I go inside the room and I'm standing at the farthest corner possible, right? Not even daring to come anywhere near them because I don't know. I mean, I might say something, do something nonsense. So I used to just always stand behind, and if nothing came to me, I'm happy. Just slip out. As soon as things get busy in the room like that. Because we have to be very very careful. What we speak, what we say. When nothing is happening, we are in. We might be in that consciousness. But suppose they say something to us, and then our natural response will be the way we are going to respond to other people because we are not used to dealing with such exalted souls. So it's very difficult. So they are self-realized and we have to understand that. So if they are saying something, then it is full stop. It's not open for conversation or discussion. It's not a discussion point that they are telling us something. It's an instruction. Of course, if we don't know how to apply that instruction, then we should ask, and that is submissively, but not discuss or argue or anything like that, right? So it's just dealing, communication, engaging with a guru is itself not something so easy for most of us, right? And then obviously we don't know how to inquire submissively. And if we don't do this, then our whole initiation process becomes a big question mark. Hmm. And so many things are right? They're right. I mean, day in, day out, when we are reading Prabhupada's books, hearing something, we get so many doubts. And we need to have some channel to clarify those and not by our own speculation. And then there are certain things that cannot be asked to anybody else. It has to be asked from the Guru. For example, suppose say in your heart, you're getting attracted to some rasa. Among the four principal rasas, if you're getting attracted towards some rasa, that's a conversation that's something that has to be done in front of the Guru. Tell the Guru saying that, see, I'm feeling like this, Guru Maharaj, what is it? I mean, is this correct, wrong? Am I going the wrong direction? What I need to do? Please guide. Please instruct. Yeah, we can't just, all stages of our bhakti doesn't happen just like by our own, whatever, blah. I think, I do kind of stuff. Especially, when we are getting attracted to some rasa, it's the beginning of Raganuga. The beginning of Raganuga Bhakti. And Raganuga Bhakti doesn't happen without Guru's mercy. It's not like Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti also happens by Guru's mercy, but at least you know what you need to do. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that's not the case in Raganuga Bhakti. In Raganuga Bhakti, it's all personalized. And that's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Mena Mamupayantite. That Dadami Buddhi Yogam will be given by Guru. Right? Who's going to tell you saying that, this is what you need to do. And only then we can make progress. It's not like it's not some default thing saying that, okay, somehow I'll just keep progress and go to Krishna. That doesn't happen that way. So this is very, very important, this Tadvidhi Pranipatena, right? So instead of talking, we should not talk nonsense in front of the Guru. And of course, talking to Guru doesn't necessarily mean face to face. Can also be email or whatever channel the Guru allows us to reach him on. We can use that channel. But point is that it's an important relationship. It's not a formality. It's not a formality that I'm done. Many times devotees come to me, at least those who are connected, or aspiring, etc., from my Guru Maharaj. And many things I can say if I know exactly what it is, and if it's not a major decision in their life. If it is a major decision in their life, or if I feel that it's not run of the mill, like normal kind of question or requires attention by superior authority, then I simply direct them. Please go to Maharaj or write to him, or if you want, I can write on your behalf, like that. So it's very important to understand that we don't. I've seen many places where so-called mentors actually end up becoming like gurus, as in they block access to Diksha Guru, right? Which is so detrimental. Why? Because they think that, maybe their importance will go or something. I don't know. Whatever they think. Right? But that blocking is also not good. It's not good to block anybody from their Guru. Everybody has the right to access their Guru. Nobody can block. Which is many times devotees ask me something and I just say, please ask Guru Maharaj. Because I can't answer. When I can't answer, I know that there is, you have to go and ask Guru Maharaj. We can't, and that thing cannot be blocked, and that should not be blocked, and that should be exercised. That relationship has to be exercised. We have to do pariprashnena. Hmm. So it's very, very important, because only then we get instructions. Then there are general instructions and there are specific instructions. Those who get specific instructions are very fortunate, because now they are in Guru's mind, right? Automatic. Becomes automatic. When we get an instruction, that means. So it's important. These things are important. Unless one is tattva, okay, of course. Then sometimes devotees ask this question, saying that, what when the Guru leaves this world? Guru never leaves, right? Guru is always present in his Vani. Guru has other ways to access us. So Paramatma, through Paramatma communication happens, to other devotees happens. Guru is, we sing, no? In that, what is that? Guru Puja? Um, mm, mm, What is that? One second.
Sri Guru Charana Padma.
Mm-hmm. One second.
साक्षादरित्री ना
No, that is Mangalarti.
Kabhina kripa labhya jana krita kritanata. That, right?
One second, one second, one second. Hmm. जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चकुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से. No, जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से means that he is our Lord life after life, right? So which means that whether he is manifest here, present here or not present, he is our Prabhu. So then Guru is he is responsible for us, right? So he will figure out. He is not an ordinary jiva to be restricted by material conditions to communicate with us, etc. So he has access to higher realms, right? And he can access us, and he will access us. Like even today, so many Prabhupada disciples say, no, like they see Prabhupada in their dreams. Prabhupada comes and gives instructions. They are with Prabhupada, and Prabhupada has come and taken his disciples who were on, who left their body. So, and, and that's not only applicable to Srila Prabhupada, it's applicable to all gurus, bona fide gurus. Right? So, but in our mind, we should have that submission. We should have the dependence on Guru. Sometimes we become independent. We should not become independent. We should have the dependency on Guru, which is very, very critical. Unless one is Tattvadarshi in complete knowledge of the absolute truth, one cannot describe the activities of the personality of Godhead. Now, which is why we read from Srila Prabhupada or our previous acharyas, because they are Tattvadarshis. We don't read from some mundane author, right? Therefore, although there are so many so-called Ramayanas, some of them are not actually authoritative. Sometimes Lord Ramachandra's activities are described in terms of one's own imaginations, speculations, or material sentiments. Yeah, it's like my Bhagavad Gita, my Ramayana, it can be anything, my ideas. But the characteristics of Lord Ramachandra should not be handled as something imaginary. Now, one more thing, a little bit sensitive, is that when we are describing Supreme Lord or trying to, especially Ramayana, right? It's too many books saying life lessons from Ramayana. Now, all this is fine only if they are in line with previous acharyas. At least I talk about myself, because I can't talk about other devotees. If I have to write anything on Lord Ramachandra, then I will not write anything independent, my own independent thinking. Either it has to be by Prabhupada or previous acharyas. Of course, those acharyas don't have to be necessarily from this sampradaya only. They can be from other sampradayas, but authentic sampradayas. But it should be based on what they have said, and we can expand, we can comment on it. Okay, some acharya said this. Okay, now how do we understand this? Like for example, our Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu, right? He's writing the detail, verse by verse, commentary on Ramayana, right? And multi-canto, multi-volume work, and the basis for his book is, I think, somebody from Sri Sampradaya, I think, if I'm not wrong. But then everything that is in that commentary, he takes that commentary and helps us to connect it to our acharyas and establish tattva, and such authentic work. I mean, just amazing. We need books like that. We don't need books which are just like story or in some imagination or some speculation. And unfortunately, today devotees read such books. Whenever I read a book, if there are no references to either Prabhupada or previous acharyas, I just leave that book, because then I don't know what it is, right? It could be somebody's speculation, and I'm not bold enough to accept anybody's writings as authentic, because I'm scared that I might get misled. So for me, if I'm picking a book, then I first see saying that, okay, are there references? What are these references? What shastras have the reference? And if it seems like, okay, connecting back to our parampara and even, authentic references, etc., then I might pick up that book to read. Otherwise, it would generally written in the form of a storyline, right? Without any references, then I normally don't read those books because we don't know. We don't know because we cannot describe Ramachandra's activities in terms of our own imagination, speculations, or material sentiments, or anybody for that matter, right? But the characteristics of Lord Ramachandra should not be handled as something imaginary. And it's very simple, right? It's very easy. Okay, you read, you hear, say there one attribute of Lord Ramachandra, and then we can read that and then speculate. Right now, why? Because maybe we know that word, right? Or maybe we've heard that word, or that word has been used in other parts of Prabhupada's books. It doesn't mean that Ramachandra has that quality. You have to understand this, right? Just because I know the English meaning of a word, I can't say that this is the quality of Ramachandra, because Ramachandra is beyond our, mental perception, right? I mean, if Acharya say that, okay, this means this in connection with Lord Ramachandra, we say, okay, this means this in connection with Lord Ramachandra. So it's not a joke which is why Prabhupada says only self-realized souls can write books, right? They're realized, which means they will never speculate. No self-realized soul will speculate. Every self-realized soul will refer to previous guru or acharyas. Every self-realized soul, because they know that they don't have access to it to just speculate, right? They feel that it's cheating. And be careful with reading tons of books that are printed in ISKCON. While describing the history of Lord Ramachandra, Shukadeva Goswami told Maharaj Parikshit, you have already heard about the activities of Lord Ramachandra. Apparently, therefore 5,000 years ago, there were many Ramayanas or histories of Lord Ramachandra's activities, and there are still many. But we must select only ththose books written by Tattvadarshis. So this is what Prabhupada is also saying. Now the books of so-called scholars who claim knowledge only on the basis of a doctorate or any kind of speculation for that matter. This is a warning by Shukadeva Goswami. Rishibhis Tattvadarshibhi. Although the Ramayana composed by Valmiki is a huge literature, the same activities are summarized here by Shukadeva Goswami in a few verses. And then, of course, Ramayana is pretty complex. There's like Tulsi, what is that? What is that? So many Ramayanas are there. In Tamil, there is some Kamba Ramayana or something. I don't remember. Anyway, there's so many Ramayanas. You have to be careful about what we are reading. Safe is to read from Valmiki Ramayana, and Bhagavatam, of course. Okay, so I'll stop here. If there are any questions, comments? Yeah.
General instruction, specific instruction.
General instruction, specific instruction. Shashank Prabhu is asking. Yeah.
When we hear classes from Guru Maharaj, that is
General instruction. Yeah.
When we go meet personally, whenever Maharaj puts it on, then at that time when the Maharaj speaks, that is taken.
No, even there, if a guru is addressing general audience, like 15 people are sitting, 20 people are sitting, and he's speaking about something, those are also general instructions. But specific instruction is when there's a one-on-one conversation. One-on-one means reference to a particular devotee, and he specifically says, okay, this has to be done by you, or you can try to do this like that, then it's a specific instruction.
Second question, Prabhu. I mean, this
Second question, okay.
Whenever I see Guru Maharaj, I feel scared. Like,
yeah, very good.
I want
that is required.
I feel scared, but don't know what. I'll go to that. Don't
Correct.
know what to ask. Like,
Correct.
simply see.
Yeah.
And I'll.
That's good.
Darshan and I'll come
Yeah.
back.
So yeah, I'll explain this. This is very important question. So Shashank Prabhu is asking, when I see, he's talking about Maharaj from whom he is possibly aspiring. He's saying that when I see him, then I feel afraid. I feel frightened. See, one of the very important things, about this guru-disciple relationship is that first the relationship with the guru has to be based on respect. First thing, right? Which is why this relationship is very special, because it's not just based on respect and doesn't end there. It is based on respect, but also has love. It's a very difficult relationship. No relationship in the material world will have respect and love together. When there is love, respect is gone. When there is respect, love is gone, right? But specifically, relationship with Guru is of respect and love. So it takes a lot of time, because first the respect has to, sit in. It's almost like relationship with Krishna, right? It takes us many years of developing trust in Krishna, Krishna's supreme position, etc. And then all of a sudden, after some time, they say, forget that Krishna is the supreme Lord. Right? So it's like that, but that is ingrained in our system that Krishna is the supreme Lord. So we will not think about him lower than supreme Lord, but we will not think about him as supreme Lord also. So that is a very different state, right? Similarly with Guru, that respect has to be there in us for many years. It will happen like that, where respect creates that foundation of further interactions. Right. So when we interact, we are respectful, but we also love and care and want to serve like that. Right. So it becomes a layer on top of respect, but respect is completely like foundational. Right. So you will never at any point of time interacting with Guru, when you go through this kind of relationship with building a relationship with Guru, you will never see him as an ordinary mortal, or you will not talk to him casually, and all that doesn't happen. But then you show love also. For example, then you'll go to the servant and say, okay, what can I bring for him? Now this is love, right? Or if somebody says, okay, something needs to be done, then everybody's running, right? Saying that, okay, how can I want to serve, right? Like, so that is love, right? But respect has to be the basis. If respect is lost, then it's not a complete guru disciple relationship. It cannot be just, see, Guru will never tell you're not respecting me. Right? Gurus they're so exalted. They will never say. Just because they're not saying doesn't mean that we take it for granted. So the relationship has to be based on respect. And then once respect is very strongly established, then over years that, love develops, where we want to serve. And then service means love, Uh, yeah, so it's a very important. Many devotees, they want to think about their relationship with Krishna, but they don't want to think much about their relationship with Guru. But it's very important. It's the most important relationship, because without that relationship with Krishna cannot get established. Yeah. Okay, good question. Thank you. Okay, anything else?
Communication which is stressed on today.
Yeah, communication and Guru, which I stressed on today.
It's only through email.
Yeah, which is okay. Which is okay. I mean, email is okay. That's why I said any channel that the Guru opens up for communication has to be used. But the point is that attempt to communicate has to happen. Now, sometimes, we are a little bit, I don't know what to say, we say, no, Guru is too busy. Why should I write to him? Of course, you should not write like flimsy or unimportant things to the Guru, right? But if things are important, then that relationship is there only for that. And I've seen many cases saying, no, don't disturb the Guru. I mean, whenever somebody says like this, you are in wrong hands, as in you're getting wrong guidance, right? Because otherwise there's no point in this Guru-disciple relationship. It's not some formality that we got initiated, right? And when you feel in your heart saying that, no, I have to inform this to Guru, come what may inform. Your duty is to send, and Paramatma works. These all things happen at high levels, right? We should not worry. I know of many situations where communication with Guru has been blocked, right? For specific disciples, for whatever. So much of politics happens, right, in ISKCON. But that's not good. It's not good. We should, as disciples, we should attempt. And we should make noise. We should make noise if we are not getting access. We should make noise because it's our right. We're not doing anything wrong by saying that I want to talk to my Guru. There's nothing wrong. It's your right as a disciple, right? Of course, then we see practicality, etc., 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 right? But nobody can stop us. Nobody can stop us. Nobody should stop us. And if somebody is stopping us, then that means you have to become wary about that person, saying that, there's something going on here, right? But yeah, that's the foundation of initiation. Yeah, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So while talking about Varnashram,
Yeah.
like I heard that, during the last moments of Prabhupada told I've completed only 50%.
Yeah.
And 50% is that,
Yes.
I have to establish Varnashram. Sometimes I hear this statement like in order to promote a Varnashram. But but you clearly mentioned that, we should take only procedure which
No. Let me clarify. See, Prabhupada's mind was that Varnashrama has to be established, but Prabhupada never said that 100% of Varnashrama has to be established because it's not practical in Kali Yuga, right? The point that he wanted Varnashrama to be established itself means that relevant aspects of Varnashrama has to be taken, which are favorable to Bhakti. And why Varnashrama is to show the direction for the world, because not everybody is going to become a devotee, right? Then their way is second generation, third generation to come into devotion is when first generation comes in touch with the devotees in a Varnashrama setup. So, yes, for example, right, suppose say there's a farm community. Now, farm community is the main means for establishing Varnashrama at this point of time. Now, if suppose say there is a way for a person to come and live in this Varna who is not a devotee, right? He gets a way of livelihood and is happy living here because he's gone crazy working for corporates in the city, and the amount of pressure and tension and artificial intelligence and no intelligence and all this, it would have created so much stress on the individual, and he's like, running away, his health is dwindling. You can find tons of such people today, who are in this state. Right now, give them an opportunity saying, and they would have earned money also. It's not that they've not earned money, right? But they would have wasted or not used it appropriately, etc. Now you tell them saying that you come to our farm, you don't have to pay anything. We'll maybe accommodation, maybe a little bit something, for just construction or whatever, that we'll work out a model for Karnataka. We are working on it, right? So people should come. People should come and they should feel happy, saying that, see, wow, I mean, this is so amazing. No Krishna conscious, they're not chanting. They're just coming in the farm and living in the farm, and they'll have some services either based on their whether they have physical this one, then they'll go on the field, or they'll have whatever based on their propensities. Based on their propensities, uh, propensities, they'll be engaged in different services, and they're not necessarily chanting Hare Krishna or doing devotion. But what will happen if suppose say you're in a community like this, 100 people, 200 people, eventually you are going to know. You like the place, you like what you're seeing, you like what you're experiencing, you like the people around you, and obviously you'll feel like, I'll also do this. And if they don't do, their children will do. As in, I see that Prabhupada's idea was this, saying that Prabhupada said lakhs and lakhs of people are going to join our farm communities. That was his vision, and unfortunately today he's gone for some reason. They just don't want Varnashrama. No, and it's not even clear why they don't want. It's like only now slowly little bit movement is happening. Towards that. But yeah, so that's a big question. It's not like I'm not even an expert in this area, but I know there are many Vaishnavas, many devotees working. Many devotees working on establishing Varnashrama, what principles of Varnashrama, etc., etc. So we can always talk to them and get more details. But yes, it's those who are trying to establish Varnashrama, they are strictly trying to follow the instructions that Srila Prabhupada has given for a practical Varnashrama setup in Kali Yuga. Anyway, it's a big topic, so some other time.
Sure, Prabhu. And I have one more follow-up.
Yeah.
So you're talking about, Prabhu, like you're explaining about gurus and disciple relationship. So today, in our community, there are thousands of disciples for a spiritual master. And I was hearing, Prabhu, he was pointing that this guru and disciple relationship, like a disciple should stay with a spiritual master at least a year or so and understand, and then you should take an initiation.
Yeah.
And it's a validation happen on the both side. But this sort of a facility, I'm not sure, am I wrong here? I'm just making this statement. This sort of facility or ecosystem is not today. And I also agree, and I also think that, Prabhu, because of this issue, and whatever you are hearing from you or from from Bhagavatam, we are not actually getting that 100% of this thing. So what we should do in this case, and what are your thoughts on this, Prabhu?
Yeah, so obviously the process of initiation is about selection, right? We select guru. chooses to select a disciple. Now, selection of guru is a very long drawn process. It doesn't happen by default. Default means somebody is my guru, so everybody else whom I talk to should become my guru's disciples. No, that's absolutely, that's the first mistake we are doing. Second thing is that there has to be time given for devotees to evaluate, and we should, as preachers, we have to be very fair, right? And we should give options. Tell people saying that these things are there. You please go and do your homework. And now, when disciples have to do, or devotees have to do their homework, now obviously it starts with Shravanam. And then once there is some level of understanding, then serious devotees will want to go and meet the prospective guru, and maybe it may not be 1 year, because who has the time today for all this? But at least intermittently, maybe, 1 or 2 days here and there, where they can get association of that Vaishnava, and make sure that okay, whatever is being heard in through Vani is also reaffirmed in real life. And we just have to get convinced, saying okay, this is the person. What is the whole process of this selection is, I am ready to accept every statement that this person makes. That's the only process. That's the process is to give us that confidence, saying that I am ready to fully surrender to this person, right? And for that, Vani, it's based on Vani, but then also we can, if we get a chance, or we can create chance to go and spend time with Guru. Spend time meaning, wherever he is, and we're also there, we're trying to serve, we're trying to hear, we can, in a more closer environment than just on as a public lecture. And these things are required so that, then we get a clearer understanding of the philosophy and the approach of that Guru towards Krishna consciousness. And then we should become convincing that, okay, I am ready to give up now, surrender my life to this person. And this process generally is expected to take a year in general. Shravanam, multiple gurus, then, shortlisting, then trying to find, whatever, get clarity, more clarity, to get clear understanding and commitment. And on our side, being ready, saying that, okay, I'm ready to surrender myself to this person. It takes time. It's not an overnight process. At least, I very strictly follow this in my preaching. Right? Whenever somebody comes to me, I first say that, you have to go and hear first. And then even if somebody says, I want to get initiated from somebody, the first thing I ask is, give me the reason. Why? Right? And if I'm not convinced, I'll just tell them, saying that, no, not convinced. You have to go back and hear, or do your homework and come back. Because otherwise it's just, it's not the right mode of initiation, because then we are doing disservice as preachers, because it could be any guru, right, for that matter. If that person is not surrendered to their guru from whom they want to take initiation, and as a preacher, then I did the shoddy work, right? I take responsibility for a bad disciple, right? So I'm very careful. Even if somebody comes and says, I want recommendation for you because I'm getting initiated from this guru, that guru, I ask, saying that I want to understand why you want to get initiated from this guru. How are you going to dedicate your life? How are you going to serve that guru's mission? I ask all these questions. And if they don't have, they have to find answers. It's not like fail, right? But they have to find answers, because without those answers, why are they even taking initiation in the first place? It's a big change that has to happen in our society, but tiny effort from my side. Yeah. Okay. I think we can close. We're already past our time. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vanchakalpatarubhishta Kripa Sindhya Chapatitanam Bhanavi Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll disconnect. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Pranam to everyone.
Hare Krishna. Pranam. Okay, I'm disconnecting. Thank you.